Hey everyone, it is live at the Sewing Gallery this morning. Today's the first day of spring. I'm so excited. I have a special guest today. Um, we're excited because we're going to do a demo to show you. She loves this ruler and she works with us. And this is the first time that she said she'd been on the news or the Facebook Live, but her face is going to be all over the world on our YouTube station. I try to get the other girls to do different things so that you don't just see my face, and Doreen's going to do a really nice job today. It's Doreen. She only shows up every other Thursday, but I love all my staff, so I'm going to hand it over to Doreen. Come on, Doreen.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Sue, for thank you. First of all, I'd like to wish my daughter happy birthday, first day of spring, baby. Sue asked me to demonstrate the folded corner clipper from Creative Grids. I discovered this when I was doing a patch quilt. And if you have ever done anything like snowball or even make binding, borders, have square triangles, you're going to love this ruler. I know some of you are probably real good with using your laser or just eyeballing your corners.
It does make you nervous.
I, however, am not. So I was still drawing a line from corner to corner.
I'm there every Thursday morning.
So let's say, for instance, I've got
Thank you for helping us get that.
40 or 50 of these squares that need the corner snowball.
Last night?
And before, we would always, draw our line from corner to corner, sew on the line, and then have to go back and trim off our 1/4 inch. Well, with this folded
Scott, you might get a little
corner clipper, we can kind of cut out a few steps. This is the 5 inch. It also comes in a 10 inch version, and it is broken down into 1/2 inch and even 1/4 inches. This one's from 1 to 5 inches. So what you want to do when you're using this, and whatever size block that you're wanting to cut, you will use that measurement on your ruler. For instance, this is a 4.5 inch square that I need to put on the corner of this. So what you're going to do is find your 4.5 inches, lay it, and you've got 3 places that you're going to be looking at. The top here, and as you can see along the bottom, I have the 4.5. And then over here at this point is 4.5. And if you'll notice, I'm also using my Creative Grids cutter. So for you that are left-handed, like me, you're going to go this way. For you that are right-handed, and God bless your hearts, you're going to go this way. So what you have, you're going to be taking off the corner that you just cut. And you can do, if you want to make something with that later, you can. However, I'm not. So now you see that you have this already cut, and you're going to sew a 1/4 inch. The ruler has a line here, and that is your 1/4 inch seam allowance. So you'll you'll go to your machine, and from this point to this point, and I'm just going to pin it for demonstration. We don't have a sewing machine set up, but I can show you one that I've done. I brought it. I'm not sure. Anyway, then you have a perfect corner here. You don't have to go back then after you've sewn it and cut that edge off. It's already cut off in that one step. So that's an example of how to do like a snowball corner. And the nice thing about it too is you can do this in multiples. You can do, I've done several and just pin them and then go back and chain piece, and it does save some time. The other thing you can do with this that really saves time is go ahead and make a strip of half square triangles. What you want to do with that, there's a couple ways to make half square triangles if you're using like 5 inch squares or 6-inch strips or whatever size strip you have. And I've made one. What you do for your half square triangles is you take your strips, you put your right sides together. This happens to be a 4-inch strip, so I'm going to go here at my 4 inches. And again, I'll just measure up and make sure all 3 points of the 4s match. Cut that. And again, go from your point to point. Use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and that will give you a perfect 4-inch half square triangle. You don't have to go back and square them up. Like a lot of times when we're doing a half square triangle, there'll be a little bit wider on one side or another. This is already set, and it will give you a perfect half square triangle. Now, you can continue with this strip. All you do in that situation, and you'll have to give me a minute to figure this out, you'll just go back and I think I'm a little bit backwards here. Okay, here we go. You just flip your ruler. Again, match up your 4 inches, your point here, here, and here. And I'm going to cut again, but this time I'm going to be right-handed. And cut that. So from your corner to corner, and again, you have another perfect half square triangle. And you'll just continue along with your strip doing that. You, of course, lay it out the natural way, or this, facing you first, and then cut, and then you'll flip it, and you just continue on with your strip, and that gives you half square triangles that don't need to be trimmed later. Now, if you want to take your 5-inch squares or any square, I did one yesterday. This is cut out of a charm pack, and you have a leftover if you wanted to make another size. But if you're wanting them all the same, you're going to want to use the strips method. And this is, say, out of this piece of fabric, you just wanted a 3-inch one. You'll just go match up your 3 points at 3 inches, cut it, and then you'll have this left over. This is also good for making flying geese. I've got a couple pieces here. These are 2.5-inch squares on a 2-inch by 4.5 inch. Again, you're just going to match up whatever size you're cutting. You'll match that up with your ruler. For instance, this is 2.5. You cut it. This is already gone for you. You don't have to go back and trim like we normally would. And then to make it easier, sometimes it's better to rotate the piece that you're working with and then lay the other on. So, and then if you have to think about it, you can always put a fold in there just to let you know or remind you of which way you're wanting to cut it. So for instance, I'm going to want to cut it, this is 2.5, so I'm going to want to cut it that way. So it'll do flying geese. If you want to snowball some corners, this is a 5-inch square. These are 2.5-inch pieces. It's probably a good idea to go from one corner to the other so you can kind of keep your bearings. I know sometimes I forget which way I'm going. But you would, again, go here and cut this way. And then if you want to turn it just to kind of keep yourself oriented to the way you're going to cut, you could always fold it, or you could just turn it and then lay your ruler again and cut. Your half seam or your 1/4 inch seam is already there for you on that line, as long as you're sewing from corner to corner. You don't go back and have to trim any of that off. Now, another thing you can do with it, and it comes with instructions. It shows you how to cut half square triangles, prepare bindings, cornered rectangle, which is kind of what this is. and just general directions on how to use it. But these are just some things that I've used it for. Now, if you're making your binding, and before, we always laid one piece out and then we would come down here, or at least I did. I'm sure you all have your own method. But, you'd pin it, you'd draw your line, you'd sew it, you'd cut it, and all that. Well, the way you do this with the ruler is you're going to lay all of your bindings right side up. Now, remember, with the strip setter, make your half square triangles, you put right sides together. But with your binding, you're going to put all of your pretty side up, I guess you might say. And you're going to want to cut off your selvage. Turn it this way. So you cut off your selvage, and you can use your ruler for that as well. It's got a good, nice straight edge. And let's say this bottom piece here is going to be your first piece. And in order to cut all of your edges, you can just take your top piece and kind of turn it around like so that you still have that edge. So you're laying all of your binding strips face up. This is cut 2.5 inches. I'm going to find my 2.5 inch mark. We're going to make sure our top, our right hand piece, and then along the bottom here of the 2.5 inch line, and cut. What happened? Oh, I'm sorry, I used my left hand side. So here we go. We're going to cut this way. We're going to make sure everything's lined up at 2.5. Cut that. So now you have your binding is cut. And we're going to take our bottom piece, which I guess I did that wrong because I thought that was the color, but it's orange. So we've got that piece laying there. We're going to take our top piece. I thought that we're going to pretend that this is the good side. And we're just going to lay that from corner to corner. And for this demonstration, we're just going to pin it at a 1/4 inch seam. You don't have to go back after you've cut it that one time. You don't have to go back after you sew it and cut that excess off. It's already done for you. And then you have a perfect mitered corner here.
Very nice. Very nice.
So that's a few things that you can do with it. And for this particular scrappy quilt that I've done, it's saved all kinds of time. You don't have to draw lines and then go back and cut again.
That's wonderful.
That's all I have. And and like I said, it comes in a 10 inch, and this is a 5 inch. It'll go up to a 5 inch block. And then it's also marked in halves and 3/4. So like this is 1.5. This next mark would be 1 3/4.
Very nice job.
Thank you.
You guys be sure and compliment Doreen since this is her first time. She did very well, even though she's left-handed. We're not going to hold it. One of the other things that's nice about this, if you've got the barcode scanner, you can scan this and it'll take you, and you can see the video of how to do all the different steps with this. It's a nice ruler. When nice. She got this, she came Saturday to our party, and thanks for those that showed up for our party. And she had some really nice quilts done with it, but she did a great job. And be sure and comment that Doreen did an excellent job, so she'll want to come every other Thursday and do a demonstration, and it be live. Yes. Our giveaway this week is the Sew Line fabric glue set. So be sure and sign up. You got to sign up each month. Your name, your email. And if you want to get a $10 coupon to use online only, we're happy to send it to you. You can't wait until you're in the middle of the month and sign up, because you won't get it. And if you don't give us your information, you won't get it, like the month and the day We don't need the year. You can put 1900 so nobody knows your age. Be proud of your age if you've made it. Just like Doreen's a very pretty lady for her age. No, she's very pretty. But we were talking because she said, this is the first time I've done this and I'm 68. She looks great though, I think. All the girls here look very nice and is very pretty and kind. And that's important in a small business, that your staff is nice to everybody. If somebody said one of them was rude, I wouldn't believe you, because they go above and beyond service. This is another item. This is the fabric printable paper. You can cut it down if you don't have a print molding machine. If you're planning on doing, a memory quilt, this would be the stuff. You got to cut it down to an 8x12, like a sheet of paper, in order to use that, and make sure it's flat. But that's one of the best products as far as printable fabric paper. It's not really paper, it's fabric. This is another item. These are great to give away. Put something Eastery on them. Give them to a family member, somebody that's special to you. If you want to do an anniversary, this is a bag you can do it. You can put the year, the date. That's what's nice about the things that we're showing you today. And then, of course, everybody knows I'm a dog lover, so you can size this up. This is our monthly deals that I'm showing you today. So really nice deals. We try to pick things in the store that's fun and for you to get a good deal. This is the dime pressing hoop. It's also got the clamps that you can use with it. So it's very nice. Good deal. The monthly deals are. And then I wanted to show you, to tease you even more. This is the Great Outdoors that we've chosen. Victoria designed this. She does a nice job. We're looking out the window. If you do the row by row, it starts in June. We can't sell you the row by row before June 1. Stores that participate in it like being creative, and I guess we do too. But you collect at least 8 or 9 of these. We have great instructions with ours. We folks that do this spend a lot of time or at least Victoria did. We spent a lot of time cutting all these pieces because you get a nice amount of fabric in order to do your row. You do 9 of these in a row or put them on the sides, turn it into a shop, and you get a fat quarter bundle, which is very nice. So this is up and coming before the shop pop. I wanted to show you our weekly deals. I kind of did a few things a little different. I put some different things on sale today. I put the Candace Jelly Roll on sale today, and I also put the Big Tree Jelly Roll. These are grays, yellows, and blacks. These are kind of pastel, and then they go into darker. If you're planning on doing a quilt, or you're going to be using one of these rollers, this is a great tool to have. And Doreen was so excited when she got it. I called her, I think, on Tuesday and asked her to do this demonstration. And she said, "Can't Jen do it?" And I said, "No, you're going to do it. If you work with me, I make you learn." You catch that, make you learn new techniques, different ways to do things, because it's important, because I want to grow my company. We've been here 15 years and we're still growing leaps and bounds because it's important. This is another item we have on sale. We introduced you this last week, but this is such a nice layer cake. I wanted to share that with you today, so that you would have a good deal. And then, Doreen mentioned about using charm packs. This is Dainty Metas, and this is Magic Dots. If you're doing a baby quilt, you could do those half square triangles. I wanted to show you that. And then I included this because Jill was working on an embroidery yesterday. This is Jill's favorite one. Now, I like the Iron Away. She likes the Wet and Gone. This is a topper that you use if you're doing embroidery on towels, anything like that. Towels, if you want jackets, it's fluffy. This helps keep the design on top and not sinking down into the cloth that you're using. And what's really nice about using a topper, of course, a lot of people sweat the bullets, and especially when you're first starting out, you're not sure what you use. But, if you're not sure, just throw all the stabilizer in it. One girl kept building stabilizers when she started, and by the time she was finished with the design, the thing was so thick and so stiff, it was unreal. But this is a nice deal to get if you have a little left. If you get into making towels and things like that, you use this stuff up pretty quick. So we put this on sale for you today. I wanted to mention we have our beginner class 101 quilting class. This is a disappearing 9-patch. You will need 3 fabrics. If you've got somebody that's wanting to learn to sew, this is the class to come to. We're going to be talking about the type of thread, the tools that you use. Of course, air grate fabric is what you'll have to use. It ends up being probably a little over 3 yards total of fabric. And we will help you pick out when you come to class. We chose the grunge collection because I wanted to use something that we kept in the store consistently. I didn't want to come up and get Betsy to put this together and we not have it anymore because you wanted to use the fabric. So I chose the grunge and the colors. I kind of wanted to be unisex, so we go through these sales with our quilts, and this is a baby quilt. You can do a lap quilt in this class. It'll be March the 30th, April the 5th, and April the 12th. It'll be a 2.5-hour class. We're starting it at 10 o'clock. On Saturday, next Saturday's when it starts. But what also is nice that's different from our class than you going to a guild and learning, we're taking you through the foundation of quilting all the way through the process. And we'll talk about, if you want to do it at home, quilting it, but it's our first official 101, and then we'll take you through new things. Up and coming will be an applique class, and we're excited about that. Thanks to one of the girls that has bought this machine, the Avenir. She did this design for me so that you could see how big, like if you wanted to put a big design on a quilt or a jacket, you can get up to this big, and it's really pretty. And thanks to Sheila that did this, she told me I could keep it for a little bit, but the designs are so cool. And one of the things, this design, of course, Sheila didn't bring me this design. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it's really cool. This one. It gets as natural looking as possible. It's not screen printed, it's stitched out. The Avenir is just top of the line, and we still have our free financing, 24 months. No, 48 months and 60 months. See, Doreen, how hard this is to get up here because you think about everything that you said afterwards with this machine, and check out the screen. For those of us that has seasoned eyes, there's something to be said about seasoned eyes. You need glasses all the time. You need to go back and get them checked because sometimes your eyes get worse. But this is a nice, huge screen for you to use, and it's got all the Disney designs on it. The frames, it has all the tools that you need with that machine. We love all the Brother machines. One thing that Scott was doing, because when I'm setting up, he's trying to service on a machine, and he was talking that the updates has gotten a lot bigger, haven't they, Scott?
Oh, yeah.
So that means you got to use a bigger jump drive. But the thing about it is one of the reasons you should have your machine serviced each year, if you forget to do the updates or you don't know how, you have the opportunity to be able to get it done when it's serviced. Because one of the things people ask for the cost of servicing, what do? You don't ask them at the garage what they do when they do an oil change, do you? I mean, we service it. We break down the machine totally down, open it up, oil and grease the areas that are necessary. Because the machines with technology today, you do not oil or grease your machines at home. Scott's had people where the wheel's locked up and the husband has put 5 gallons of oil in it and it's dripping out even after he finishes wiping it down and servicing it. Wanted to mention to you, because Debbie's going to want to take her pretty pillow home. Thank you, Debbie White, for helping me do this. This is a beautiful pillow. It's not intense with the Kimberville. This one still has the CD with it. We've got the fabric, and we also have the embellishment kit that puts this pretty green stuff down at the bottom. So it's nice. Like I said before, Mary put a nice article on our website to explain what's going on with that and the process of it. If you know anyone, please send them to our class so that we can take them to the next level. We don't teach below the age of at least 15, or if they're mature at 14, you can send them to class. I said send them to class. You don't get to come and sit in and get 2 for the price of 1. It's kind of like, I'm going to take you to the movies, but I'm not going to pay for the movie, but I'm going to bring my kid and she's going to watch it. Well, same thing with sewing. You know, if you come with somebody else, you get to pay too. That's just part of it. You don't get to go to the movies 2 for the price of 1. But this is a great system that we are starting in our store to take people to new levels, because we see a lot of quilts. We're doing a quilt right now, and the girl hasn't had any training because she used heat bond, no sew, but luckily we're able to get through it. But it really, and she did such a beautiful job on her applique, but it would have been nice if she would have come to class. We teach you about your borders so they don't ruffle. You just don't get a piece of fabric and stick it on here. You have to measure in order to get to where it has no rolls in the side, extra fabric. So we hope that you'll tell your friends to sign up for it. If you're thinking about a machine, this is the machine. And Scott's got a question.
Sheila Louie said that the Wash and Gone is not showing on sale.
Okay.
That's one thing. And then a lot of comments about what a great job Doreen did and how that you have the best ladies working for you.
They work with me. They don't work for me. They work with me, and I pick on them every day. Just a great bunch of people that wants to come out and sew and learn what's new and have a good time. And I thank you, Doreen, so much for doing this. I'll get this on sale. Thank you, Sheila, for noticing. But be sure and tell Doreen what a great job she done so that she can do more of these. You know, until you get up here, you sit behind that screen watching, whether it's Kim from Kimberbell or myself or whoever. Some days you're on the money, some days you're not. But I appreciate her doing that. I'll get this on there now. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Happy spring day. Yay.